r/askreddit by Redify. Do you fear death? Why not? Fear of death used to keep me up at night. I couldn't do anything without thinking about how everyone I knew including me was gonna die. Now I never think about it. If it happens, it happens. All we can do is enjoy the small amount of time we get here. Ironically, despite constant suicidal thoughts, I'm fucking terrified of actually dying. 40-year-old here who should have been dead 5 different times, but somehow here I sit. I think as you get older and watch friends and family die, you have to face your own mortality. The scary part is the how. I've watched a couple of family members die of cancer, and it's fucking horrible. It's a shitty way to go, and very difficult to watch someone you love go out that way. Worrying about it won't change anything. Had another friend who never drank, and would randomly smoke a cig or two on the weekends. Out of nowhere he has a brain aneurysm and dies 2 days later. Meanwhile I was drinking 12 to 15 beers a day, and smoking a pack a day. Why him? I should been the one voted most likely to die young. You watch enough of these deaths and just realize that the only people who know for sure how they are going out are the ones who do it themselves. It's best to just accept it and try to make the most you can out of the limited time we have on this rock. Death no. Dying yes. Dying seems like it would be a very unpleasant experience. Death for myself? No. It happens. Death for loved ones? Yes. Because I have to live knowing I can't make more memories with them. Edit. Slightly related. But this question triggered something I wanted to get off my chest for a couple years now. I've never had a great relationship with my dad. Chalk it up to Asian stereotypes or whatever. But we've just never spent that much time together and have never hugged or said things like I love you or I'm proud of you. Especially now that I've been living alone for a few years. I have this constant dilemma of fearing I'll go through life never having said those things, while also knowing that we do love each other, even if we don't verbalize it. He visited me recently and it quite nearly broke me. I need to call him. Sorry for the rant. I just needed to write this out. Blimey, I'm surprised at the responses. I am scared of death. Whenever I think about it, I will lose everything that makes my internal sense of self and cease to exist. I become an unthinking lump of matter. Stop and think how many weekends you have until you die. *if* you make it till you're 70? How many experiences or thoughts you will miss out on? Of course that scares me. I have one life, and I'm most likely already a third of the way through it. I don't have the imagination to understand what not existing is, as my mind has never had to do it, and while I know that death is inevitable, it does nothing to quell the fear. Instead it motivates me to try and better myself, even if in very minor ways. Edit. Thank you for all of your replies and the gold/silver. When I wrote my reply, all of the others were from people saying they were not afraid. Now the top comments are from those who do fear death. There were a few common themes in the replies. I talk about weekends because that's when you have the most time with which you can decide how you spend it. If you're on a month-free standard week, it doesn't mean that I'm writing off the entire week. I still do things I enjoy, like meeting friends, exercising and reading. It is not a revelation to me that the world existed before I was born. I did not have consciousness before I developed it as a child, but now I have it, and now I will lose it. There is a difference between being afraid of death and being afraid of being dead. I'm glad to see that a lot of people realized that my fear of death is not paralyzing. Quite the opposite, it is more a motivation to learn and experience what I want to. If anyone is curious or simply doesn't understand where I'm coming from, I recommend reading ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Y asterisk asterisk asterisk. It is a short story about a man who slowly dies from an incurable illness. It includes suffering, which everyone will be afraid of, but also explores asterisk asterisk the complete and utter loss of opportunity that death is asterisk ast. I used to think I'd be content when the time came. But from an experience where one wrong move cold ended with my death, I'm no longer okay with dying. I have so much I haven't done, and so much I want to do. So many people that would be affected by my loss. I don't want to put anyone through something like that if it can be prevented. I know death is inevitable, but if I can choose to die of old age, then I choose that over anything else. So to answer your question, yes, I fear death. I never did until I held my dad's hand when he died after battling cancer and saw the look of fear/confusion in his eyes, something I'd never seen him express. Then I helped the hospice nurse clean and remove medical devices from his body from all the cancer-related surgeries. Now I fear the process of dying, mostly because it seems like everyone who makes it past 40 gets eaten away by cancer in the end. My mortality seemed almost palpable after the experience, and it's a scary feeling. I also feel bad that I will not see what we discover/accomplish as a species in the future. So that's a disappointing aspect as well. Though not really fear. You know that experiment where you give a kid a marshmallow and promise to give them a second if they don't eat the first? I'm the kid that eats the first marshmallow. It's not that I can't wait or that I'm hungry. I'm just unable to associate my current situation with what will happen in the future. So do I fear death? At the moment, no. Dying is just some abstract idea that I don't foresee happening anytime soon. But when that time comes, I expect I'll be terrified. Yes. My reason is stupid. I can't really properly explain it. If we're not reborn, or there's no afterlife, I can't imagine not being able to think or use my senses. Nope. I'm disabled. I require carers and people around me for basically everything. My life is one of dependence and death is just one more thing out of my control, so fuck it. What's death gonna do? Kill me? I work in the medical field and am more afraid of getting old than I'm of dying. I have patients who it seems like all they have left is scheduling different doctor's visits. I'll try to schedule something for them in say August, and their schedule for that month will already be booked with other doctor's appointments. I have patients where their loved ones basically shuttle them from appointment to appointment trying to delay the inevitable? I don't want to become like that. But in reality I have no idea how I will become. Just like anyone else. It's the fear of uncertainty that gets me, more than the fear of the thing itself. No. Acceptance seemed easier than getting freaked out about something that I can't change. Absolutely. What if I die on the toilet and didn't get a chance to flush first? What if my last words are I actually have really good balance and then immediately fall down a flight of stairs? What if I'm trying to impress a girl and she gets sprayed with blood when it all goes wrong? Death isn't scary because everything goes blank. Death is scary because it's freaking awkward as hell and other people have to deal with your corpse. Afraid of dying just because you can't really help it. Not necessarily afraid of death itself. When you know that you have to die at some point no matter what, and there's really nothing you can do to prevent that, it's better to enjoy your time on Earth while you can, rather than wasting it worrying over death. Why be afraid of something that you can't avoid? No, it will mean all my bills will go away. Of course. I've got no fucking idea what happens when I die. I don't want to know. You're meant to be scared of it. Sure. I have accepted and embraced death before. But I think everyone is scared of it. I did at first. Then I thought about how eventually the planet I live on will die and swallowed by the sun. And if I somehow found a way to fly out towards Neptune and set up life there, eventually the star our system revolves around will die. Maybe in a fiery explosion taking out all the other planets with it. And assuming that I somehow found a way to hop from star system to star system, the stars will all eventually die. And even if I found a way to live without the energy from the stars, the universe will keep on expanding until eventually not even atoms are capable of staying formed. And if somehow I was able to avoid all that, all I'd have to look forward to is an eternity of nothing that right now defies the imagination. Eventually even the memories that I was so desperate to hold on to will dissipate like the matter around me. I could not feel, touch, taste, hear, see or think. Just like death. So I would still die. I would just die an immortal. Then I realized that this would happen because everything else around me had died. The whole universe has died. How big must my ego be to believe that I above everything else in the universe should get to live forever? I'm still scared about dying. but more like I don't want to die in a car crash. Rather than I never want to. As a Christian, I do not fear death, as when the God's plan for me on this earth is done, I know I will be in his presence. It is actually oddly comforting.